Peace and blessings and keep up the lessons. You know what this is. Crypto B-Boy coming at you. And I got some stuff to get into. You know, let's just get ready and we'll see what we're talking about. All right. Are you ready? Let's get it. Are you ready? Let's get it. All right. Yeah. Don't forget to click the like button when you come in. So you can help the algorithm. Get your brother up there so I can bring you more content, and subscribe so that I can bring you more content. It doesn't cost you any money. It doesn't cost any membership, fees or anything like that. Subscription is free. So I appreciate it if you can do that. Those who have subscribed, I appreciate them for being there with me and subscribing. So I put the post up, maybe the visual get you to and so forth. And I thank those who have, and keep on connecting with your brother. All right. So basically, what I'm going to get into, and I'm kind of, if you see my eyes are a little bit pink, I've been sitting in front of a computer, and you know what it does to people's vision. It could be also detrimental to their health. And we know that. So basically, I'm here like on a delirious level right now, being tired, but not too tired. My brain wants to put out what all that I was in the midst of, and was able to experience. I missed XRP Vale's his space, excuse me. And I heard of a lot of things going on in there, but can't be on every page. Even though Crypto B-Boy is trying to be in the midst of the people to be able to get his word across as well, because all of our word counts. All of our words count. Clips, if you want to call it without visual, it's just going to be vocal, and it's going to be audible, because that's what we do in there. There's no visual sit down or panel, so it's just people speaking and getting on stage. So many of you know of this with the Twitter Spaces, but they've been getting hot lately, and they've been from past week on to now as well. Today was so many that it was hot, and people were talking about major issues, and the major issue that is at hand is this one, in a big way, with the dissension with the XRP community or slash XRP army, as those who are into that. And the thing about it is some people have to be honest with themselves, how genuine you are. Okay, some people want to portray themselves as that they don't have maybe ulterior motives, but then they also want to think that other people have ulterior motives. And in this issue of the XRP buyback, and it's actually a controversy. It's not even no longer just something that's being put out there, promotion, as what they claim that Zach and other influencers who have been putting up this information and trying to bring out information about these proposals and all these so-called documentations, and people need to have law requirements of being able to put stuff out. I mean, none of these people are lawyers except the guy Jimmy Valley, right? uh, Jimmy Valley, he's a lawyer. He's clear. He put his credentials out there. He let himself be known, and we're gonna just trust and go that he is. And then people might have done research to go back to check on it, right? I think a lot of people also want to, and it's a sense of arrogance. Even a woman can have like Eddie. They can have arrogance. Arrogance is not a sexist thing, or it's not just directed to this one particular sex. So let's get that straight. And arrogance produces, it all. Arrogance produces that you can tell somebody who is a specialist in their area of skill set or what they know and knowledge, what they know. people don't want to stay in their lane. It's like a lawyer, a construction worker is telling a lawyer what he's supposed to know or what he doesn't know. Have enough arrogance, I'm going to say it, that they can tell people what they should do and not do and who they are and what it is, and then even make insinuations without clear proof. Okay, it's one thing, like Neil, and I respect him, and he came really pretty evenly. You understand? And that's what the guy, one of the guys who was trying to tell Eddie or Erie, that you got to be careful what you say. You say you say that you're being totally 100% careful. That's arrogant statement right there. I mean, and I'm saying arrogance not to say that she's arrogant by herself or the other guys who were speaking that were arrogant because they came at Zach and he was speaking. But, even with Matt, he said certain things, but he was balanced in a sense. He wasn't coming at Zach and saying, "Oh, so this is." But sometimes you hear him, and people know of him, and everybody has their position, and they're the type of people that they'll talk and say you got to have tough skin in this game. And I understand that. That's business. That's even in business arena. I dwell in the business arena. I'm an entrepreneur myself in my own right. You know, uh, and you got to have tough skin. You got to be able to take constructive criticism, and that's well and good. But when it comes to character, when it comes to reputation, that beseech you, you have to be careful of defamating somebody else's character within the business arena, because that is costly to their goals of becoming, you know, successful in what they're doing. And from Zach, I see he's not just a content creator; he does other things. So I understand where he's coming from, and that's why I gave him that position. I said that credit's due to what you're doing and what I see, and people without first initial frontal arrogant attacks need to bring themselves down and humble themselves. This is a dangerous game. Besides just being, from what I come from the streets, when you mess up somebody's character, you get knocked the hell out, or something else goes wrong. Now it's even worse. People come after you and they do you something bad. So that's there. That's in that realm of world. But here, it's like people could sound like they're stating this is illegal. Like the guy Horse, whatever his name was, said this is illegal. Or is it illegal? And he's questioning, no, be careful what you're saying, guys. Be careful what you're saying. Don't bring that into the equation. Speak on the issue and say, listen, I think this is just like Neil was saying, just like even Matt did a little bit. He wasn't too abrasive. But y'all people who came in there abrasively, you gotta be careful. And Ari, I understand you stood in the background, you was being patient, boom, 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 boom. But you as well, because I've been watching you, and when I first started watching her, when I first started watching others, and the Bearable Bull handled himself good. I commend you on that, because he kept respect to the guy, and he didn't come at him, and he didn't say stuff like, see, Ari, you got to be careful with that too. When you're coming at somebody, you should be coming in with questions, and then keep those questions until you get the answers. Don't continue to bombard and say you doing this and you're calling me a liar until you've proven that he was calling you a liar. You should have been saying to him, I think you misunderstand what I said, because I wasn't lying on you. So I'm just telling you that, okay? Even if however you want to do it. And then you say also, you got to be mindful the way you saying that this is who you are, and you come off the way you come off. But when you writing, you're direct and you deal with this and that and like that. And when you're speaking and when you make certain words and statements, these are statements that can influence people to be riled up, especially in media. You got to be careful. Rwanda led to daggone civil warfare and killing and genocidal killing going on, because one side of a people was prompt and and provoked by a media person in the news and stated certain things that he wanted to say. In Burma, and you're in Asia, Erie, Eddie, in Burma, if you know about what happened to the Rohingya people, it was done from Buddhists, and they're supposed to be very, very peaceful, seem to be peaceful people, but there was an extreme uh, uh, facet of these people, and one was a monk, it was a leader, and he was very influential, and he spoke very radical and harsh against those people, and made accusations that wasn't really fully true, or did certain talks and use certain wording to make them seem that they were the way that the people perceived them, and then the people came after them and tried to rid them from the land and strip them and even kill them and massacre them. This is what happened. This is how it's led to. So, and Zach mentioned that he's gotten threats. Now I don't know what kind of threats. He didn't mention it in detail, but this is crazy, man. And the dissension is created worse. Dissension in the crypto space, let alone in just XRP Army XRP community, because now we're going up against each other in these manners, to the point of that they calling people liars and shillers, and all these other negative terms. But you're not. And one question that I would like to ask is, have anybody come to the table? This is how I do. I come straight to you, or you come. I would want you to come straight to me. Email me, whatever communication type of resource or type of way that you can use to communicate with me. You can go into the comment space and say something, and we can go back and forth in that, or we can arrange to sit down on the phone. Still phones, we still got cell phones. We be doing our talks on the phones sometimes, doing our videos on the phones. So why can't we call each other up? Get the number, email it to me, or put it in a DM, or send it to and then ask questions from there. Hey, Zach, what is this, Ari? This is what you could have did with Zach. What are you talking about, Deaton and John Deaton? Why you put his name on there? What is this in this document? I just want to know what's going on before I even speak about it, because I'm gonna try to inform people against this. This doesn't look good, and then give the person a chance to explain. Did you have any contact directly with Jimmy Valley? And I'm not trying to make excuses for any of the actions if they were mistakes and errors, or that they were as you say, incompetent, Ari, and then others who made their statements that such. Look at this guy, and I'm gonna let you listen, because I'm talking a little bit too much. I'm gonna let you listen to some of the stuff that's been said. So let's let it.
Okay, they got a good program, right? I don't care what bank's gonna lend me the money. I just need the money for my business. I need the money for my real estate, wherever I'm gonna go from there, right? And so I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, and I think that it's proper to prepare now and to start vetting out a lot of these programs now. It's just I haven't seen many of these programs that I trust right now.
And see, the thing with me, I don't have a problem with talking about it, dialoguing. I don't. Why do the people have a problem with dialogue? Now, with the documents in the papers, go to Jimmy Valley and ask him and question him like adults. Go to his office if you can, or call him up. He has to have a number from the office. Ask him these questions. If you want to drill him, drill him. What is this passing through the social media? Where's the realness of you? When you say you real and you genuine and you straight up and you trying to be 100%. Come on. Look at what Linda Poole did with Jimmy Valley, did with the black capitalists, Black Swan capitalists, and T. Put them on a panel, let them speak, and they got their words out. They had some little bits of different disagreements and so forth. And then Jack tried to put this together and do this, and people came, and the ones that came in used it as much as their efforts that they can go at him as they've been doing in the space, in the social media spaces, and hitting darts and throwing darts. Instead of trying, if you are part of a community, damn, I don't want you as a neighbor. I don't want you in my community because you might come trying to come to me and do some harm to me, and now I got to protect myself. I come from that. We come from always being on trying to be, we got to be on the defense, but some like myself, we learn how to suppress it. I got involved in my faith, and that's helped me more than anything. I don't go to no psychiatrist. I don't need a psychiatrist. I got the one up there. I got his explanation and how I'm supposed to be and how this mind's supposed to think. This is something that we need. We need to air this stuff out. We need to really do. And I was trying to go back when I said a few things. I got in there. Crypto B-Boy got in there. Got to get on. I was trying my best because I'm a heartful person, and I want good for everybody. And if you don't already know that about me because you don't watch my videos, you're not a subscriber, or if you come in, you peep in, and you don't subscribe because I'm not Crypto Airy, I'm not Variable, I'm not DAI, I'm not even Zach, and all the people who are up in those levels out here because I didn't get to air it out there. So she can come back to me or whoever can come at me. Hey, this is the earth and it's God's turf. I don't care about I don't fear nobody on this earth. I don't fear animal. I mean, to some extent, you'll fear of pain that's going to be inflicted on you when something comes at you to harm you, but that's understood. But at the end of the day, if it happens, it happens. You gotta survive. So that's who I am. But anyway, so you can come at me, whatever, boom, boom, like Zach, you did to him, and whoever you want to come at. Okay, fine. But that Crypto Aries you got to get yourself together and take carve some of that arrogance off, because you can't keep thinking like people owe you a position of where this is where you at, this is who you are, and you stay that way. Or you think like, you want to create your own kind of world. Keep that in with you and your community, that's fine. Those who want to support you and so forth. But don't propel like you spoke in, and I didn't agree with you, and you said that not giving people credit for what they do. Because you feel that you don't have to give it to people. So now you're going to use yourself to try to portray, and I'm just going from how you came off over there. I may be wrong. You can check me on that. Fine. And then I'll say, okay, maybe you're right. Okay, I apologize. But from what I got from you is like you're going to say that people don't have to, you know what I'm saying, give credits due. It's only right. It's only respect. That's just like respectable. I don't know how you came up, like you said, you're Italian, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And I'm not going to talk about your nationality of people as in a stereotypical way. That's what you've done. You said this is who I am, and this is I guess because I'm raised from Italian. This is my family. That's how I was raised up or whatever. But the way we're raised up doesn't mean that everything and how we were raised up is correct. And the way that we think and how we think things are to be doesn't mean that it's always correct. That's the problem with us, especially in this nation. And me being brought up and raised as an American, I know we are ingrained in arrogance. Well, I went to another country, and that's the problem here, especially with those people who are the powers that be. They're even the worst. They're the breeders of this type of mentality and type of disposition of a human being. They're the breeders. And I'm not going to get into the nationality with who started it more than anything, because it could be with any nationality. But some are more prevalent in them. And I'm going to leave it at that. Some type of human beings on this earth, arrogance is more prevalent within them. And the proof is in the platter. The proof is in the actions and the circumstances of what we see in this life. And what's going on, and why Zach is fighting for what he has to fight for and his family. And I'm with him on that. That's the main thing. I'm with him. And if we got to find different types of ways to come about it and build together, this is building. Now, if it's documentation, you want to get clarity on the legalities and on it, then everybody get to the table and talk And listen, Jimmy Valley, we just need to go and try to go and get this done on a way where, there's other lawyers involved. Not going to just say that you don't have enough trustworthiness for us, but I just want to let's get this real and let them get a look at this, and then we all come to the agreement on the table. Simple. That's professional. That's correct from my point of view. Now you can say I'm wrong. Okay, fine. Okay, but prove me wrong. Prove me if that's wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So let me let it go because I'm talking too much.
In my mind. And I, once there's some of these haters that have been people out there that are being shielded by some of these influencers that are casting shade. And I'm here to just defend my reputation. I can't endorse or defend the reputations of everybody on the committee. I don't endorse what the committee's saying. I just do my own thing. I'm having my own conversation. I give a platform to allow the lawyers to tell us what claims we are on Ethereum too. Yeah, that's where we're at. Gotta protect it. I
would say on top of what you
one up was Reg.
Yeah, it's Reg, actually, but that's okay.
Oh, here's this guy, Reg.
I'm a big XRP holder. Had XRP for 4 years and stuff. I think it affects the community more than you're realizing. We have a long ways to go with XRP. There's going to be financial change in the world. We all know that. There's more debt than there is equity in the world. So there's going to be change. There's also a massive war starting. I think that this court case is going to end very soon, and whoever wins is going to be appealed. 2024 is still a long ways away for a new Republican government in the U.S. This XRP to the moon, it's not going to be how we all think it's going to be. I think it's going to pop list to not trust the government. Back from a lot of people that are big XRP holders.
Okay, let me
go on Twitter right now. I mean, you're a lot younger than me, but our scenarios of life have a lot, and that's why I listen to you. I started a company young. I have a young family. I rented a house. I bought my first house. I took the equity out of my first house. We went free in the world.
I was going to do that, though, because I told you it wasn't going to happen. I told you the odds of it happening were very unlikely. It does. It does mislead people. I think
they're telling poisoning stuff with the doctor. They overdrug me, man. And unfortunately for me, it ruined my life, and I had to take back up. I have to reteach myself how to talk and write and text and all this stuff, and everybody makes fun of me for it. But I stick at it, and and that's.
I see people like this guy because I'm trying to get to some points, but it's hard to do it with this Twitter. They don't give you, like parts of where you can get a clip and you can try to let people listen to the parts that I want to listen to. So I have to kind of narrate it. But this guy, Crypto Mob, aka Ongo Galabian or something, whatever, he was talking about how he was going through what he's going through. And he got on Zachary. You can listen to it. You can go into the Twitter space, and they have it. It's recorded. And he got on Zachary after the fact, and I'll let you listen.
You're a great guy, and I've watched you since day one. And I give you crap all the time because it brings attention to the space. It brings people into this. But, this Val Hill stuff, or whatever it is, it's just like David Schwartz put out today. I don't know if he's directing it towards that, but in my intentions, in my past background, and what I've done in my life, it shows scam all over it. And I'm not personally speaking, from an investor standpoint, I don't invest in that. I don't have the money to invest in that crap. I have money to invest in the things that are going to possibly...
Hey, Mom, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you watch me.
Yeah.
What was I saying the whole last month when we pumped all the way up to 24K? I was calling it a bull trap rally, right?
Yeah.
So while I talk about the buyback, let's be clear here. And like I said at the very beginning, I'm only speaking on my behalf. As far as these other influencers, as far as the other bullshit, the toxicity, I feel you, brother, 100%. And we're all going through it because it is a bear market recession. They don't want it to let us call it a recession, but it is.
Clearly.
And so I feel you, but my point is that what have we been talking about? What have we been doing in our community? I said, guys, this is a bull trap rally. This doesn't seem like this is going to last. Like we're going to get a pullback. Sure enough, I finally stepped back into the trading arena after taking a few months off. And me and everybody in my community is pulling profit on a Bitcoin short. And so that's why I'm like, for me, brother, I feel you as far as the rest of the space, the rest of the nonsense, the shills, the toxicity. But I've never let up on trying to figure this thing out and put my money where my mouth is and showing my community, hey guys, I told everybody I'm in a Bitcoin short. I finally gave in. I got tempted enough to finally enter back in. Roll. I'm not giving out financial advice. I'm showing people what I'm doing.
On YouTube and Twitter and stuff, telling people to buy in on this stuff. That's an investment for a business. That's a security. Like,
Well,
I'm securing my profits into you, believing into what you have shielded me, and believing that this is going to be, profitable for me. Like, the whole point.
No, that's not how the whole point.
Now you see, he said shilling. He said that's a security. Okay, that's a security. Now give him the proof. Give him the detailed proof that what he's doing with the people that he is giving some information about getting involved into a trade project or whatever it was that he's doing, and that he hasn't given. And then you got to bring the proof that he hasn't given any disclaimer or something like that. Like if you want to try to be correct in the social media space or YouTube according to the rules and guidelines, okay, this is what you need to do. We all do that as content creators to try to make sure, especially that we're not giving any financial advice. We're not trying to advise people about how to invest their money. We're not financial analysts or specialists in investing, right? So we know better. And disclaiming, I'm sure Zach knows better. I never heard him advise until he says this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing with my money, and I wouldn't do it or I would do that because that's what I do. That's like giving the person the option. That it's not telling them, no, you need to invest, and this is how you do it, and I'll show you. That's different, And then you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can go more and do your own due diligence and find out about how to be a real actual investor. And that's another thing too, man. I want to say, like, I'm not going to say, because I don't know anybody. I don't know how far these people have in the knowledge and the skill sets that they know they have and the education they have. There's people that I've heard and they spoke about and they talked about their background in finance, right? The tech part, that's clear. If you're a person of knowing the tech and the IT or the dev, and you're dealing, especially like Neil Carter, I think his name is, or something like that, and then Matt and even T, he's IT, so he knows how to understand that type of jargon or that type of the type of technical usages and coding and all that type of stuff, right? They know that. But as far as finance, it's not the same. That's why I say people are not really in their lane. They're not really staying in their lane enough. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not just saying like Matt and Neil. Neil was on point. He stood. He even when he was asked about, I think it was a Takashi or whatever, he was asking him a lot of different questions, and he asked him about the corridor and this and like this, and he said, no, that's not something that I can really speak to. I don't work in that area, basically, paraphrasing, and he left it alone and said that's not what he's gonna answer him because he's not qualified to answer because he's not in that field of work, or he's not in that department or wherever the departments that how they have in Ripple. This is what Neil was saying, and Matt basically similar, but sometimes I've noticed with Matt he even got a little bit like like he's speaking about the law regulation or regulatory understanding in this background in this issue of the XRP buyback, and then EDR, she brings up something to MDRs. I can't remember what they were, but some of you can watch it and you can see something with the M and so forth, that they were, I guess, they're particular documents that you're supposed to have, or authorization of these documents or so forth, right? Something to that aspect. Something that she was trying to say that they needed to have, and they didn't even have that. So how can you even, do what you're doing and put this stuff out? Meaning that it was incompetency, that was unprofessional, right? Okay, well, this is stuff that was put in social media, so obviously it's a working thing. Because before you put anything, I would say, and that's just me, my position, before you put stuff in social media, you gotta have that's you gotta, if it's gonna be about a legality type of situation, and like the John Deaton stuff that he's brought out, and amicus briefs, and then talking about what the things that they were able to, information that went public, that they was able to bring out to the public, they had that stuff straight, and they had clear documentations, court papers and court documents and so forth like that, with signing, or the letterhead of of SEC, or the letterhead of the court, that they're doing these proceedings of this court case, right? They had that stuff right. So whatever the documents that Edie got and whoever got to, and how it got to them, is kind of crazy to me. Like, this stuff is public? She said it was public. So okay. So now what is the proof of that is incompetency in there? So that needs to be put on the table before you bring it to the masses. Because you bring it to the masses, now the masses are going to take it the way they're going to take it and get riled up. And that's what I got from the guy who was addressing Edie and telling her, you got to be careful how you speak and the things how you word things and put things. Because look at what happened. And that's what Zach was trying to explain to her too. But oh no, she's coming up to make sure that he doesn't say that she's a liar, that she's lying, or she lied on him. Okay, I understand that. And then warning him, come on, man, humble yourself. Yeah, come on, humble yourselves, all of you, all of us. I try to stay humble. That's why when I come in there and when I speak, I don't start throwing fingers at anybody unless it has to be thrown. That something you're doing wrong right in the midst of the public, of the people to see. So y'all all got to watch and look and record and listen to that recording for yourselves and hear what you said. And check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's the point. I don't want to go on too much longer. It's 34 minutes in, and I apologize if I was too long. You guys stay with it. If you want, you can go back, put it in the playlist, come back and listen to the rest of what I was saying. But I want to get to the point of Ari, if I can, and let you hear some of the stuff. So let's see.
This community as the adults in the room, right? So I don't like seeing people throwing their toys on the cart because somebody made some mathematical error. I mean, maths is hard, guys. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the criticism that I've seen has been fair, but then the unfortunate part that I've seen...
And that hasn't all been fair, but Zach was trying to be easy, and he was trying to ease the tension. So I guess that's where he was coming from.
It's just lies being, spread throughout the community that are unfortunate. And I just kind of came on here tonight speaking on my behalf. Like I said, include me in an email chain, sure. Send it on over to me. Come have a conversation on my show, Jimmy. I'd love to have you on. Let's explain this whole deal. And that's what I've used my platform for, is just understand.
And that's what everybody should use their platform for. If there's an issue, air the issue out. Bring them on the show. Talk and sit down in the panel if you have to be on a panel. Get it. Or if you don't want to do it publicly, if you don't want to do it to where the public and the people see you with your errors and so forth, because that's the thing. That's why her emotion, Ari, and or Eddie, or whatever, how she's called, what her name is, I apologize. But you don't want yourself to be looked at as bad, but you want to paint somebody else bad, call them a Sheila, or call these people this, or call these people that, but you don't want to look like that. So that's hypocrisy. Not saying her or anybody particular. I'm saying on a general basis. Get me correct. I'm trying to be careful with my words, right? But hypocrisy, just like I said, and I spoke about arrogance. Arrogance is something that's normal for human beings that partake or allow themselves to partake in that type of mental state of being. And it's a mental state. It's a mental state in verbal usage or verbal speaking comes out and expresses that type of feeling, like you know it all, or you're everything is proper with you, and you're 100% all the time, totally accurate, right? And everybody else is incompetent and makes mistakes, errors. Let's get it right. Human beings, human, imperfect beings. We all are. Nobody's perfect, but the one who created all the imperfect beings on this earth and above it. Let's keep that with that. I'm not going to get into it too deep because I know how you people are with religion. So, but anyway.
I mean, what we're invested in.
Let's get to it.
Conversations on lives every night, and I've joined them. And I've
this is this horse guy. Dark horse.
Yeah, it's only now that Eric has actually brought it to everybody's attention on Twitter. Now everybody seems to be, fuck this shit, I'm out. And it's amazing. She's done an amazing job by finding that term sheet. I've been looking for it for ages. And finally I get to see it, and exactly that. This was bullshit. It's a scam. It was a shill, and no influencer should be part of this.
Now you see that? And let me tell you from my position, I don't trust nobody on this earth. Even my own loved ones, is the extent of trust that I have to give them. That they will not ever fail me, and then myself included. That they have, it's an extent of trust that they're going to give me. They're going to go only by my actions. That's how I go by. So the actions that I see, and then the people are talking about, I've only seen transparent, and as much as more than what I have seen from the SEC. You guys are coming at them like they're the SEC. And they're trying to promote protection of your money, of your wealth. And the SEC was stagnation of the growth or the wealth transfer that could have been done from the price going up, and that's what most people were focused on anyway. Because they want the wealth, they want the money. I try to understand. That's how business is too. And when you're an investor, you are part of the business sector. Whether you like it or not, that's the point I was trying to say earlier too. Not many people understand what it is to be an investor. Really, truly. In the asset. It's something of value, right? It holds a value. It's let me look it up real quick and go over here so I can give you the without me coming off my hip, right? Because people be like, oh well, where's his evidence and all this other type of stuff. So let's forget it. Anyway, the thing is that, and let me get it to Ari a little bit because I think that's where I wanted to.
So you can make accusations about how wrong it is for using John Deaton's name, but I can't make an accusation that you're misrepresenting what the proposal actually says.
It's not I'm not making an accusation. The fact is, you guys have his name on that document. That's not an accusation. It's on the document. And so
the accusation is that it's wrong that we put him on that document.
It's my opinion that you are using his
Songbird and Flair?
That is common sense. So it's my opinion that this group doesn't have any common sense.
See?
That's my opinion.
Her opinion. And that's where it should stay as. Okay? Because if you're not bringing proof with your opinion, to say the incompetency and all so forth like this, and these lawyers that you're talking about, everybody's got to bring their proof. Come on, bring it. What are the lawyers? Who's the lawyers that you saying that basically there's holes or there's inconsistencies or there's errors in this document, the terms, right? And Zach seen it, and he says, but he's not a lawyer neither. So that's the problem. Y'all took all of this into social media before you even dealt with that ahead of time. You're supposed to bring that to the professional adult table, not bring it out here and start airing out your problems and your feelings and your emotions like the guys were saying, right? So my emotions is geared into that this dissension is ridiculous, and it didn't have to happen this way. It didn't need to go out to this level, but this is what the air out got to this point. Hopefully we can get past this and hearing what they're going through with each other, right? Look at what Lip Speaker says.
I just hopped in. Don't bring the judgment. Don't bring judgment. Go ahead.
He was saying, don't bring judgment.
I'd like to
First of all, if we XRP community, we need to squash all that toxic.
There you go.
Talk about. First of all, I just noticed it said XRP buyback insurance policy. If you could change that and put it to somewhere we can all talk about, then maybe we could take turns talking about like-minded conversation.
That's okay. I'll jump down, but the reason why I only jumped in is because the exact words out of Zach's mouth was that I was spreading lies.
Well, it's misrepresentation.
Y'all two should swap that right now.
See, that's the only thing. You coming to protect your reputation, but you want to defame or defamate somebody else's reputation. That's not right. That's not right. And again, and I'm gonna close out, I don't agree with not giving people credit. And Crypto B-Boy said that. Give people credit due for their work. I don't understand where that comes from. That sounds like, taking people's ideas, and you can go ahead and patent on top of these people's ideas of inventions. You can do that then, right? Cryptocurrency, what is it? Was it content creators? Content is the information you get, or the pictures you get, or whatever the videos and so forth, or whatever you gather, and you create your video. Creating. You took these ideas, you got all that gathered, and you made your own invention, created it. So now, if YouTube was to come in and say, you have to speak to the person who gathered that content up and put it and posted it, and you just went and watched and listened to their video and took some of that and didn't give them no credit, you're in violation. What are you going to do then, Ari? Because that's what there's some actual writing in some of the rules that is somewhat similar to that copyright rules, right? You got to be careful. YouTube allows certain things to go by, but they don't allow everything to go by. So be careful, content creators, cryptocurrency content creators included, all of us. So that's where I started in this YouTube space, 2007, when it was coming up. It was still coming up. And they didn't have the rules that they had now. You got to monetize with 1,000 subscribers. They didn't have that. I was monetized then. But the only videos that I monetized was the ones I chose to monetize. All I had to do was click a button back then. And this was monetized. Didn't get paid barely nothing then. Of course, that was the beginning. Just like with XRP, this whole crypto issue. Some people start on the train and the train didn't get to the station yet. Bitcoin, they got on the train and they got to the station, some of those people. So we're in that situation right now. So we need to get it together and be patient, be investors, because that's what an investor is. That's part of that's part of the investor's trait, is to be patient and to go where is this that which you invested in has value to it, has a future with its value. Either it's going to be going up from what it is now, and that it has, you know, it's transitory, that it can move, it can go up, that it can even go up in value. And know what you hold, and hold on to the longest extent until it's done, till the outcome comes. Now, if the outcome comes, it goes to zero, then you're done. Then you out. Then you go and you take the loss, L, and you be out. Do something else. That's why you have to stay. Trying to get the word. I'm tired right now. Diverse. You got to diversify. That's it. Your brain thinks a little bit at times. You force it to, even when you're tired. But it's okay, man. You know, I spent a lot of time in this. And I'm sorry, it went almost to 50 minutes, man. But it's serious. This is a serious thing. And like I said on a scenario of when I was in the streets and I did my thing, and the types of ways that you had to deal with these issues like this. When somebody's character or somebody tried to defame their character and so forth and their reputation, there was some stuff done. It was, you know, harms came. But this is a professional area. This is business. This is investing. This is so. But still, people are going to be very, very rigid and ruthless against each other, and we shouldn't, because you don't have to go there first. And as in my advice, go to a question table, sit down, question each other, gather what was said, and or think if anything was said, or if anything is alleged, bring it out like you do in the courts. The courts are doing it. That's how they do it. And they don't try to they're not supposed to get emotional. If they get emotional, the judge is going to say, order in the court, right? So what's up with us? Horse, what's the name? Horse coming in there and just like raging. Like, yeah, and I'm you and this is shilling and this is. Come on, man. Take it easy. Don't be greasy, because you're going to slip. Because you're not perfect. We all going to slip. And what they're trying to do is on a positive level. Now we got to check them and say, okay, make sure that you got this and you're doing this. Be responsible about it. That's those people who spoke in this space and said that, they was on point. And I commend them. Like Neil, even Matt. You got a little, you know, talk about shilling and this foolishness and stuff. Yeah. But some other people, you know, you gotta think about what you're saying when you're saying off your mouth. Be very careful. Don't get the people riled up anymore and FUD. Fudsters are us. Because you don't know that that's what you think you're not doing, but that's what you're doing. You can get people to totally pull out because people are tired, like Bearable Bull said. And man, I commend him too. He came off balanced, and that's what you got to be. We have to be more balanced when we deal with these issues, especially in this space. And what we're dealing with is people's lives. People were taking their, which is not correct, and I wouldn't advise it, but they're taking almost their last bits of wealth or money that they have and buying all these cryptos and investing in what this dream that in this future that they hoping to come, and it will eventually if you're in the right place and position yourself right, because the patterns of the people that are going that way, that are people at the top, like your guy, I can't remember his name, but the old guy, big time investor. You know, Forbes magazine, usually doing the interviews or talking or writing his little excerpts. Man, I can't remember his name. But anyway, yeah, some of you know who I'm talking about. One thing that stuck with me that he spoke about, and he would say, follow where the money goes. Follow the people, what they do with their money as investors. Meaning go their way. Don't listen to everything they got to say. And even himself, he speaks against crypto. He's spoken against crypto plenty of times. You know. But he would say, When you invest in any asset, know that asset, learn about it, be educated, and follow the people who are going in the way that is the norm of where they're going, that know about this and have money invested in that. Because usually you're going to be right. But you always have to do your own due diligence. You always have to do your own due diligence. And so, and even Robert Kiyosaki and the rest of these guys, these big time investors and guys who do actually even talks, you know. Warren Buffett, that's his name. Yeah, we got it at the end of the video. All right. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you for being in. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, put that button up there. You know, but, you know, stay with your bro. And until next time, hopefully we'll be on a better note of things and what's going on in crypto space. So, you know, I hope for the best for everybody and keep up and stay firm and stay strong and, you know, hang in there, people. We're about there. We're almost finished with this race. It's a hard race and it's a struggle and it's a fight, but stay firm and survive it. That's all I can say. All right, I'm out, and I'm not no specialist, and I'm not no advisor and all that. That's my disclaimers. All the disclaimers that everybody else says. You know what I mean. Okay, so till next time, peace and take care.